Thank you, choir. I am a part of a family, the family of God. Are you able to say that with conviction? Or you are uncertain about it? Our prayer is that you may leave this house of worship able to say beyond any shadow of doubt that you are in the rank and file of the family of God. In a moment, we will read a few verses from 1 Corinthians 7. This is one book that deals with various difficulties faced by our church. And the Apostle Paul had pastored that church for quite a while. And as he is writing to them, he is actually pretty aware of the difficulties they are faced with. And as their pastor, he certainly wants to address those difficulties to the point to which they should find an answer out of their heroes and onto a situation that is by far better than to experience endless pain or hurdles they are unable to overcome. He tells them there is an answer. You see, there is so much going on in Corinth that the people are about as carried about in their pleasures as what we read about in Romans chapter 1, where the Apostle Paul talks about people engaging in the very depths of entertainment and fun, and he calls it idolatry, thinking about themselves and their pleasures beyond God. And so carried away by that are they that the apostle says, you see, idolatry may excite you for some point, for some time, but it can take you beyond mere excitement. And life is not just mere excitement. You need to realize that life is actually constituted in meeting with God and finding a living, loving, and lasting relationship with that God. And because I have a suspicion or an awareness that that's the end, and Paul brings them back. Think and quit the pathways that seem to entertain, but in the end destroy, and come to the real being who is called God, though it may seem unpleasant and disturbing to follow him, and yet that is exactly what brings about life. And this is what he is giving these people. And he himself has been there. And so he is pouring his whole being before a God he has encountered to a people who should encounter him, that they should say with him as he ends his life, I have fought a good fight. I have kept the faith. I have run the race. Now receive the crown that is awaiting me, the crown of righteousness, prepared not just for me, but for all who have believed God's Son while they are living on earth. I want to believe that one who believes today will be you. 1 Corinthians 7, and let's look at this 7th verse. We'll read right down to the 9. I wish that all people were as I myself am. But every man has his proper gift of God, one after this manner, and another after that. I say therefore to the unmarried and widows, it is good for them to remain even as I am. But if they cannot contain themselves, let them marry. For it is better to marry than to be aflame with passion. This morning we begin a trio of Sundays in a series we may simply scratch upon and on very touchy matters. But in the hope that our consciences will awake and that we will want God's demands to be met in our personal and collective lives. And I pray that you find it in your heart to obey God Almighty. You will very easily note, if you observe all human beings, that normal humanity evolves around three experiences in life: singleness, marriage, and divorce. All of these levels may be brought to bear upon our lives by God, or may be permitted by God. What matters in the deepest sense of the word is who we turn out to be in the state in which we are in terms of being obedient to God. This is what we will do. We have not time enough to look at all three, so we shall take each head every Sunday. Today, we'll look at singleness. God permitting, look at marriage next Sunday. And the first Sunday of Advent, we will look at divorce. We can enjoy being single, and we can enjoy it if we follow Paul's example. And to do that, let's ask ourselves some important questions, though they seem seemingly simple. Here is the first. What is singleness? Well, the Apostle Paul says, I wish that everybody, all people, were as I am. And Paul is referring to the fact that he is unmarried. He has no girlfriend. He has no fiancé, somebody he's intending to marry. He has no partner who he's living with. And he has no playmate, just somebody to entertain himself with. No, he has none of those. And he says, I wish that all people were even as I am. Can anybody be happy in a situation like that? Living without any form of sexual contact, keeping himself to himself, and just saying, I am alone, I'll continue alone, I'll enjoy life alone. Well, if he wishes that that is what others should be because he's like that, then clearly he enjoys it. And we've all been in that place where we are single. But the next question is singleness good? I wish that all men, all people, were as I myself am, says the Apostle Paul. And this apostle is God's servant. Even in the days prior to his conversion, he has lived a religious life. And he is clean above the average person, even prior to his conversion. For as he says, if you are going to look at the way human beings handle the commandments of God, and then you try to find fault with me, you will not find it. That's how serious he was before he became a Christian. Now that he has become a Christian and even knows better than those from whose camp he has turned, he now tells those who have become Christians through his personal ministry, this is who I want you to be, even as I am. So he actually revels, thrills in his singleness. He enjoys being who he is. He has no shame about it. He is full and satisfied as himself alone. Paul recognizes singleness as something that was divinely given. Adam was not married at creation. He was married after being created. But in the Garden of Eden, Eden itself means delight. So he was a happy man. And even unaware, perhaps playing with that snake or that elephant or that dog or whatever, and he named them and seemed to all together happy. Only when God introduces the woman that is now saying, I think I should like that. So he was happy in himself, satisfied and rich alone. Those of us who think, until I get married, I won't be happy. You are taking a sad thing into a marriage, you make it sad. I'll only be full when I get married. You are taking emptiness into marriage, and you'll be bringing a problem there instead of a help. More often than not, we refer to those who are married as those who have better house. I don't know where we get it from. Because the Bible does speak about one person getting married to another person. It doesn't say, this man is half, now he's looking for the other half to come and battle to make... No, I don't read that. It's one whole, one happy figure, looking for another whole, another happy figure. That's what makes better. It's not half and then making one. Yeah, it may be better to make the one, but it's one whole with another one whole. God's arithmetic is different from ours. 1 + 1 equals 1. What mathematics is that? It's divine mathematics, not human. And so you see, Paul is saying, I don't want my happiness, my fun, my enjoyment of life to be on the basis of another. It's going to be on the basis of who God has made me to be. All right. We know what singleness says. We ask, is it good? If God did it, and God is good, then it must be good. But do single people experience blessing, joy, happiness, pleasure, excitement, satisfaction, excellence of life? Do they? Look at what Paul says. You who are unmarried, you who are widows, remain in the state in which you are. Enjoy your personal, physical freedom. That's what he's saying. You know what? There are no struggles there. You don't have to say, now, wife, how am I dressed? How is my nose? Oh, no. Enjoy your freedom. Nobody to bug you. It's beautiful, isn't it? Work at harmonizing yourself with yourself. Isn't myself a big enough problem already? Sarah and I were in a seminar at some point. It was a SIM seminar, and in the course of discussion, so many people came up and were talking about relational stuff and said, you know, for a long time I did not love myself. And there are a lot of us who say that. For a long time I did not love myself. You know what I say about that? You liar. You didn't like yourself? The very fact that you're saying you don't like yourself, you're actually saying you like yourself. Because you're looking for something to thrill you. You're something to cheer you up. It may be true. Tell me, where did the Bible ever command me to love myself? Ever command you to love yourself? Nowhere. The assumption is we love ourselves. Because it says, you shall love your neighbor as. And when God says that, then there is something in me, whether or not I accept, that tells me I love myself. That is why I don't want you to make me unhappy. That's why I shout at you when you say something that I don't like, and I want to get at you. You know how we do it? See how we want to snap at the next person because they've made something inside. And as James tells us, there is a fire burning in us. Why don't I burn against myself? Yeah, no, even when I get very angry with myself, I don't even say, no, I don't do that. But see how easy we go out to the next person, boom! And we feel nice, I hurt him, I hurt her. By words, by action. Surely we love ourselves. And God can't be wrong in assuming we love ourselves. The only problem is we fail to be a harmony in ourselves. And you know, that's why we go out. Some of us work endlessly. From the rising of the sun, you know, I'm a really hard worker. No, you're just hiding the fact that you're not a harmony in yourself and in the other people. Others go out and have sex carelessly everywhere because they think that is what is making them happy. Others on drugs and alcohol and so on and so forth. See what human beings engage in to try and find fullness and satisfaction. And Paul is saying, what a waste. There is only one place where you can go and find fullness and satisfaction. And that place is called the being. His name is spelled G-O-D, God. I have broken my relationship with God. I have broken my relationship with myself. And I have broken my relationship with others. That's what makes singleness bad. And so if I should ask, why am I not happy? Why am I not satisfied? Why am I still craving? Because of broken relationships. See, when the relationships are right, everything is nice and smooth, sweet, satisfactory. And oh boy, it's better than cloud nine. Yes, it is. But that is only when God is saying, good, good, good. But when he says bad, then it's sour, savagery, destructive, disturbing, and it hurts. As long as Adam is in the will of God, he is happy. Even when the woman comes, he is still happy. But when he breaks the will of God, something becomes miserable. His own experience. God says, where are you? He hides. And so the next question, where's your brother? Am I my brother's keeper? This is what happens when we do what is wrong in the sight of God. And that is what kills singleness. What kind of single person are you? Living to yourself, living by yourself, nothing wrong with that. What are you entertaining yourself with? What do you think will satisfy you? In the absence of God, nothing. And that is why you're all understanding God has sent his Son, he's called Jesus, the happiest being that ever lived on this earth. Even on the cross, when the disciples are forsaking him, Judas has betrayed you. Holy women are lingering at a distance. And the religious figures are slandering him and insulting him. He is torn to pieces and is almost nothing. He is able to say, my Father, because he knows that's where real happiness is. And so soon he goes into the ground and comes up because he belongs to the one of endless life and endless pleasure. That is the singleness that matters. Do you have it? It can be yours if you give yourself to Jesus today and now. Will you? We'll stop there.